Hello, welcome everyone. Today is the first day, or I can say the first lecture for set. So, in set, I am gonna start with the algebra. There are many topics like the main parts in set, that is algebra, trigonometry, geometry, statistics, arithmetic. But we will be starting with the algebra because this is something that will be incorporated with every topic, as well as I personally feel it's something that students struggles the most when especially it's incorporated with some other topic. So I'm starting with very basics that you have studied in your grade 6, but still I'll be covering up, you can say, a little brush up, and then I'll move on to the harder parts of the algebra. Starting with, what is algebra? So algebra is basically a combination of letters and variables. That is, letters are variables and constants are numbers. Suppose it's x plus y. I have written x plus y plus 3. It's an expression in which x and y are the letters, whereas 3 is a number. But in the term of, or in the name of algebra, when we talk about algebra, the letters are known as variables because they can take up any values, whereas numbers are called constants. So I can say the combination of the variables and the constants are nothing but your algebra. Now, the most common thing is expression, like what different expressions are there in algebra. So a whole expression is actually called polynomial. Like if I'm writing x plus y, this is also a polynomial or simple and algebraic expression, because an expression which contains letters and number is called algebraic expression. So this is what an algebraic expression. These algebraic expressions are of different types depending on the power of the variable. If I'm writing x plus 3, highest power of x here is 1. So I can say highest power of our variable or highest power of x is 1. This is, if it's 1, then it's called a linear expression. So like the solving linear expression, finding the value of x for the linear expression will be different from the quadratics. What are quadratics? When the highest power of x is 2 or y. Not necessarily that it should be x only, the highest power of any variable present, any letter present in the expression. If it's 2, then definitely it's a quadratic expression. Here, the highest power of x is 2. So I can say this is a quadratic expression. So in this way, we can categorize an expression. Similarly, if I say x cubed plus x, here the highest power of x is 3. So we can say it's a cubic expression. So depending on the number, whatever the power is, you will categorize the expression. 1 for linear, 2 for quadratic, 3 for cubic, 4, 5, so on. Okay, but we will be focusing more on linear quadratics, okay, because mostly the questions will be from here, and obviously the base is your linear equations. So this is the basic introduction, which I know you have already known it. Now that we move on to our main topic, which is linear equation. I was saying this is expression, not an equation. Why? Because there is no equals to sign. Now when you introduce an equals to sign, suddenly it will become equation. That means x plus 3 equals 1. There is an equals to sign here. And if it's, then it's nothing but an equation. There are two ways of solving a linear equation. First, two ways, or you can say they are a method, a part of doing a linear equation. First is transposing, and second is called cross multiplication. Transposing, as the name suggests, it's the changing of position. When you are moving a letter or a variable from one side to another side, that is called transposing. If the question is solve the following linear equation, it means they are asking you to solve the equation. They are asking you to find the value of x. And to find the value of x, you have to isolate x. Isolating, that means you have to make x alone. Like take the expression x plus this one, the equation x plus 3 equals 1. Here, the 3 is with x. It's not alone. You have to make it alone. You have to isolate it. And in order to do it, you just have to move 3 to the other side, because that's the only way by which you can isolate x. So what I'm doing, I'm just transposing 3 onto the right hand side. So on transposing, we have to change the sign. It's very important. I can say the maximum student do this kind of mistake whenever they transpose. Generally, they forget to change the sign. So important thing is, while transposing, always change the sign. So here, if I'm transposing 3 onto right hand side, I have to change the sign. 3 is positive, so we have to make it negative. So x plus 3 equals 1, and when I'm transposing, I have to change the sign, so it will be 1 minus 3, and x is finally negative 2. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. This is called transposing. You are changing the position, and while changing the position, you have to change the sign. The next is cross multiplication. When we are transposing anything, when a number is in addition or is in subtraction with x, that means if a number is separated by a variable with plus operator or minus operator, in that case you are doing transposing. Cross multiplication is something when a number is in multiplication or is in division with x. So I can say a number, like take the example, suppose if it's x over 3 equals 2. Obviously, the number is in division with x and we have to separate it out. We need to isolate x, so we have to do the reverse operator. That means if 3 is in division with x, we have to multiply 3 to both the sides. So that's a one way. So multiplying 3 to both the sides. So I'm just doing multiply 3. So I will get x equals, this will be cancelled out, remaining equals 6. That's how you can solve. And there is called cross multiplication, which is nothing. It's the same thing that we did here. This is a conventional way of solving it. Cross multiplication is just a skipped, you can say, or a shortcut, simple. So we are doing the same thing here. X over 3 is equals to 2. So cross multiplication, it's like this. If something has a fraction, so you're just doing a cross multiplication like this. So 3 will go up there with 2. So x is equals to 3 into 2, which is 6. So either you can opt the reverse operator thing, and it's the same. Cross multiplication is the same thing, but you can say a shortcut of it. So these are the two ways by which you can solve any harder linear equation. So let me solve some linear equations to get an idea. I'm starting with solving some simple linear equations, which is here x plus 4 equals negative 1. As I told you, when a variable is separated by a number or another variable with plus or minus operator, we have to do transposition. Transposing, that means 4 will go there and it will change the sign. So x equals minus 1 minus 4, which is minus 5. It's actually, if you are doing like subtracting minus 4 to both the sides in order to isolate, transposing is actually the same thing. So you can do that one as well. Here 2x equals 4. So if a number is in division or in multiplication with x, you have to do the reverse operation. That means 2 is in multiplication with x. So I am doing the reverse operation, dividing both the sides by 2, which is 2x over 2 and 4 over 2 will give me x equals 2. Or a cross multiplication where directly it will go down there. That means x equals 4 over 2, which is 2. The next one is the reverse operation. 3 is in division, so let me multiply 3 to both the sides. Or cross multiplying, I will get x equals 6. Next, 2x minus 1 equals minus 3. Obviously, 2 is in multiplication with x, but first minus 1 is there, so we have to transpose it. I'm transposing it here. So this will be 2x equals minus 3 plus 1. So 2x equals minus 2. Now dividing both the sides by 2. So x equals negative 1. That's the final answer. This is how you can solve any simple linear equation. Then let me do some variations of linear equation. So when variables are on both the sides, say for example, this one is the question. X plus 3 is equals to 2x minus 4. You can clearly see that the variables are on both the sides. So in that case, we have to separate out all x's on one side and all the numbers on other sides. So I'm transposing here 2x. So this will be x minus 2x plus 3 equals negative 4. And now I am transposing 3 onto other side. So what I'm doing when the variables are on both the sides, I'm just separating out the variables on one side and numbers on another side. So what we are doing, we are separating variables, in this case x obviously, on one side. Variable, that is your assigned variable, on one side, and numbers on other side. So finally when I simplify it, this will give me minus x equals minus 7. We have to isolate x. We are finding the value of x, not negative x. So multiplying both the sides by negative 1, I'll get x equals 7. This is my final answer. Moving on to the next one. 4x minus 7 is equals to minus 3x plus 2. So if you haven't done these types of question and you are doing it for the very first time, I would suggest you to just pause it here. Try to solve it and then resume and check your answer. So what I'm doing, I'm just bringing all the variables on one side and all the numbers on another side. This will be 4x plus 3x, as while transposing, the sign changes, is equals to 2. And now I'm transposing negative 7 onto the other side. 4x plus 3x equals 2 plus 7. Final, it's 7x equals 9. And now dividing both the sides by 7, doing the reverse operation, x equals 9 over 7. This is our final answer. The next variation is when the brackets are present. Suppose the question is 2 times x plus 1 plus 3 is equals to 2. Here in this lecture, I'm introducing you with the basics, right? And in the next class, we will be doing worksheet. Worksheets will be of two different types: subjective worksheet and objective. Subjectives are the basis, it will form your basis, and then the objective will be purely on set. And so for every topic we will be doing two different worksheets: the subjective one to clear your base, and then the set, although objective one, it will help you in scoring great marks. I'll keep on sharing some tips as well, but a conventional way of solving is very important. So here the bracket is present. So if a bracket is present, your first thing is solve the bracket. So we have to expand this bracket. Whenever we expand a bracket, we have to multiply all the numbers and variables of one bracket with another. Here we just have single bracket. So the number which is outside the bracket, we have to multiply it with every term, the variables or the constants present inside the bracket. That means 2 multiplied by x. So the number outside has to be multiplied with the numbers and the letters inside the bracket. So I'm multiplying 2 times x, which will give me 2x, and 2 times 1 will give me plus 2. And I have solved this one. Write the other numbers. So let me solve it. This will be 2x, and 3 plus 2 will be 5, equals 2. Transposing, I'll get 2x equals 2 minus 5, 2x equals negative 3, and finally dividing both the sides by x, you'll get x equals negative 3 over 2. So if the brackets are present, the first thing that you have to do is to expand the bracket on single bracket, because when it's a linear equation, you will be finding the single brackets. So you have to multiply all the numbers inside the bracket with the outside number or the variable. Now for the next one, if it's a fractional linear equation, that means suppose it's x plus 1 over 3 equals 2x minus 1 over 4. So cross multiplication, or the way that you are doing, you can opt any one. So I'm cross multiplying, so it will go up there and it will go up there. So it will become 4 times x plus 1 equals 3 times 2x minus 1. Now we have brackets, so we have to expand these brackets. This will become 4x plus 4. Why? Because I have multiplied 4 with x and 4 with 1, equals. Now multiplying 3 with 2x, 6x, and 3 with minus 1, which is minus 3. Next is transposing, because we have to separate out the x on one side and numbers on another side. So 6x will go there and 4 will go there. So we are just separating it out. So 4x minus 6x equals minus 3 minus 4. This is minus 2x and this is minus 7. And finally dividing both the sides by negative 2, x equals 7 over 2. If you think I was a bit faster, you can just go back and see the video, because I'm thinking so far you already knew that how to solve it. So these are the basics of solving any type of linear equation, and the next worksheet will be a subjective worksheet, and we'll dive into more harder questions, and then we'll be doing the set related questions in the next worksheet. So keep practicing it, and if you need one-on-one classes or group classes for set, you can just email us at exacademy@gmail.com. You won't believe the classes are at just $5 per hour. So that's it for today. Thank you. Have a great day.